one game between the North Bergen Bruins and the Old Tappan Golden Knights. Now for today's starting lineup. First for the visiting Bruins. Number 1, Alex Estudillo. Number 2, Aiden Rivera. Number 12, Cameron Perez. Number 15, Gianfranco Mejia. And number 23, Eliezer Camacho. Head coach, Kevin Bianco. And now the starting lineup for the home team, the Golden Knights. Number 2, Isaac Schrager. Number 4, Dylan Sedano. Number 10, David Brennan. Number 23, Nick Holloway. And number 25, Dylan Julinski. Head coach, Craig Ferraro.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to East Gymnasium on the campus of Fort Lee High School, the setting for the 2024 Jack Riley Holiday Basketball Tournament. As today we will get the tournament started underway with a matchup between the Old Tappan Golden Knights taking on the North Bergen Bruins. Hello, everybody, I'm Dan Long. Thanks so much for joining us here, courtesy of the Fort Lee Athletic Department's YouTube channel. I'll be joined alongside by Renee Matisic on camera and Dimitri Nanis, our director and producer, as we get you all the sights and sounds of what is going to be an action-packed couple of days here from Fort Lee High School. It'll be 12 games over the course of a couple of days. Quarterfinal games here today, semifinals and consolation games tomorrow. We'll have a day off then on Sunday and be back for the final day of coverage, the final 4 games on Monday. We're crowning a champion as we are underway for game number 1 of this holiday tournament. Old Tappan 1-1 on the season. North Bergen 0-3. North Bergen the home team in the white. And it starts off quickly with a 3-ball knocked in by Isaac Schrager of Old Tappan. Old Tappan designated as the home team in their blue, North Bergen in the road white. So Schrager knocks down a 3. The son of former Fort Lee head coach Adam Schrager getting on the board here. Old Tappan has played only twice this season. They're coming off a 44-30 win against Paramus their last time out before Christmas on December 21st. Works around the perimeter. North Bergen taking their time. 0-3 on the season. They're coming off a loss against Ridgewood their last time out. Here's Schrager running the floor, and Schrager will lay it in. He's got a quick 5 points to start off this ball game, and it's a 5-0 lead for Old Tappan. North Bergen started their season off with losses against Bayonne, Hoboken, and Ridgewood, now participating here. North Bergen still in search of their first points of the day, as now Old Tappan will bring it down into the offensive end of the floor. Dylan Drolinsky being guarded that time by Alex Asadillo. Nearly stolen away by the Bruins, but still possession maintained by Old Tappan. Led by Coach Craig Ferraro, Kevin Bianco, the head man on North Bergen. That one precariously rolls its way and finally finds its way down and through the hoop for David Brennan. 7-0 start to this game for Northern Valley Old Tappan. Asadillo, who had 11 points against Hoboken, works it around the perimeter, getting it up top to Cameron Perez. Eliezer Camacho. Here's Perez from deep, front rimmed it, and rebounded inside by Dylan Sedano. Drolinsky off the screen, right to the rim, and he lays it in. Going to ask for a better start if you're Northern Valley Old Tappan. They've raced down to a 9-0 advantage as we're coming up on 3 minutes gone by here in the first quarter of action. First game of this 2024 Jack Riley Holiday Tournament. Kick and drive, and here's a corner three ball, and that's a wedgie as that one is lodged in between the backboard and the rim. And possession error will keep it on this side for North Bergen. North Bergen only a couple years removed from winning the Holiday Championship here at Fort Lee in 2022. That year they defeated Clifton, Riverdale, and then Fort Lee in the finals. Feed inside, that shot is no good, deflected off of the thigh last, touched by Gianfranco Mejia. And it will be possession going back over to Old Tappan. Schrager feeling the full court pressure as he'll give it now to Holloway. Golden Knights break the full court pressure and get it into the half court. As it's worked around up top for Holloway. Hands it off to David Brennan. Now Drolinsky, who just had the lay-in. And that'll be a finish inside. And that's going to be a timeout called for by North Bergen as Old Tappan goes up by an 11-point margin. 4:27 left to go here in the first quarter of play. All Old Tappan in the early goings of this first game of this Jack Riley Holiday Tournament. We'd like to thank our presenting sponsors of the tournament, as well as presenting sponsors of our Fort Lee Athletics broadcasts. So out of the timeout, 11-0 lead for Old Tappan. After Drolinsky had just made his second basket of the first quarter, he's got 4. Schrager leading the way with 5 for Old Tappan. Balanced scoring effort. Bruins have had some difficulties here getting going offensively. Averaging only 40 points per game in the first 3 contests of the year. Good ball movement into the corner, but Mejia not thinking about uncorking that shot. Perez off the dribble, drives, kicks out to a teammate for an open look, off the back rim, no good by Rivera. Good offensive rebound inside. Rivera blocked away, but gathers the carom. Also plays right now out of the timeout for North Bergen. Still looking for that elusive first shot to fall. Again, they're going to have to wait a little bit more as Astudillo's shot caroms into the corner, out of bounds. And it'll be possession going back over to Old Tappan, leading 11-0 with 3:20 left to go here in the first quarter of action. Up top to Schrager. Schrager with the skip pass to Drolinsky, and he gets called for the travel after he was trying to gather and go in one fell swoop. Rear turnover there for Old Tappan. Again, their season losing by 3 at Fairlawn in overtime, 72-69. Last season, they went 2-1 in this tournament, did Old Tappan. They defeated Sea Caucus, lost to Memorial, went on to win the championship, and then came back to win in a consolation game against Passaic and finished in 3rd place. Drolinsky This is worked around to the near side. Schrager dropping it down low to Brennan. Good ball movement. Here's Drolinsky driving through the contact, and he'll be fouled in his active shooting, so that'll send Dylan Drolinsky, the 6'3 senior, to the foul line to shoot two with 2:29 left to go here in the first quarter of play. Drolinsky misfiring on the first foul shot attempt. Second foul shot is good, so Drolinsky joining his teammate Schrager with 5 points apiece here in the first quarter. Golden Knights stretch their advantage now to 12. Mejia playing a game of catch back and forth with Rivera. Here's Mejia, almost banked in the long-range three. Brennan with the rebound. Bergen not able to get anything going inside. Everything coming outside of the perimeter right now in this game, outside the three-point line. So there's going to be another foul whistled on the floor. That'll be the second team foul against North Bergen here in the first quarter. His second personal foul against Camacho, so he has both the Bruin fouls. Schrager off the screen, and he swishes home the three. Second made three of the game for Isaac Schrager. He's got a game-high 8. All Oltapan in the opening quarter of this first game of the tournament. Fastball swung around. Mejia had an opportunity maybe to have a skip pass, but it's going to be a foul whistled inside. First foul of the day against Oltapan. Looks like Schrager was called for the foul, his first, team's first. Skip pass, wide open look, and still nothing falling right now here for North Bergen. Bruins scoreless so far as we're coming up on the final minute of the first quarter. Here's Schrager again open for three. Isaac Schrager has knocked in 3 threes. He's now have a game-high 11 points, and Schrager's homecoming here to the gym where his father was calling home for so many years as the head coach. It's been a friendly homecoming, and Drolinsky with a nice Euro step finish right around the defense. 20-point quarter on the board now for Oltapan. Drolinsky and Schrager combining for 18 of their team's first 20 points. And now another turnover forced by the Golden Knights. Worked around Joe Martin, who's coming to the game, number 15 for the first time for Coach Ferraro's side. Carmine Porcelli also into the game for the first time. Brennan just bowls his way down underneath for his second made basket. 4 points for Brennan. Under 10 seconds left to go in the first quarter. There's a shot from deep for North Bergen to wide of the cup. And it's been all Oltapan through the first 8 minutes of play as we'll head to the start of the second quarter as you're watching exclusive broadcast coverage of the 2024 Jack Riley Holiday Tournament here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Back here for the start of quarter number 2 inside East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee High School, and we are joined by a special guest and none other than Adam Schrager, former head coach here at Fort Lee, and a proud father, to say the least, of his son Isaac, who, Coach, he was shooting the lights out there in that first quarter. I think you were doing a little extra practice around this holiday break. Quick 11 points for your son there, and what a start for Old Tappan here this morning.
Yeah, he hadn't shot very well the first 2 games, so it's good to see the ball go in. Biggest thing right now is just for them to keep moving the ball around.
How's it for you now coming back here and just being simply dad rather than coach in a place that you called home as a head coach here for the Bridgemen the last couple of seasons?
It's a lot of fun to just come out and watch, and just watch guys play, whether it's Old Tappan or even Fort Lee. I've been watching them on the YouTube, the games that they've had so far. Enjoy just watching high school basketball, whatever it is.
As your son picks up the steal after netting home his 4th made 3 of the game, as he and his teammate Dylan Drolinsky have been outstanding in the early goings here against North Bergen. For you, what was it like to be the host team in this tournament the last couple of seasons? As I mentioned in the first quarter, when North Bergen won the championship a couple years ago, it was against you guys in the finals in a jam-packed gym, a great environment. What was this tournament like for you to coach in and also help to host?
Well, in the 6 years I coached, this was a great tournament. Actually, my first year we came into the tournament having not won a game, and we ended up being Paramus Catholic in the finals. So obviously this tournament holds special value to me based on that scenario. It was always fun, Christmas time, holiday time, to have the tournament here. You know, the year that North Bergen beat us, that was one of our better teams that we've had. So twice in the 6 years we made it to the finals. One we won, one we lost. Wish the last couple of years we had done a little bit better. Last year it was not a great tournament for us, but I would expect Coach Josh Ford will have his guys ready to bring the Bridgemen back to the finals of this tournament this year.
And you saw already a dramatic start to Josh Ford's career here at his alma mater with that, quite frankly, buzzer beater type win against Paramus, a team that then Old Tappan took down in their first win of the season right afterwards.
Josh is going to do a great job. Coach Ford will definitely be a positive for the Bridgeman program. I've watched all 3 of their games on film so far. Try to help him with some of the huddle stuff. And he has them playing really, really good defense. And I would expect that to continue, and he takes great pride in his alma mater, so I would expect great things out of Josh.
Now, Coach, how tough is it? We were talking about this before even the start of this game. How tough was it for you to step away, as once again your son just cannot miss at this point? His 5th made 3 of the first half, as Isaac Schrager now is up to 17 points in this first half of play. Just insane numbers. How tough is it for you now to play the part of parent and just be in the stands when you know what it's like to be on the sideline here in North Jersey basketball? And, you know, as you said, you're still breaking down film, you're watching game film. How tough is it, that adjustment to go from coach to parent nowadays?
It's hard. I try not to coach him too much, just provide some really simple advice. Always just play hard, play the right way, be a good teammate. Good things will work out if that's what you do. And everything else will, shooters are going to make their shots. You just have to do the other little things. And he's matured. He's played on varsity since he was a freshman. You know, I've seen great maturity in him, and I'm really happy with how he's just playing the game right now. And so I just try to just be as much advice that way, not really X's and O's, because I really don't know what their X's and O's are. I'm not there at their practices. And so he has to trust coach and what his coach tells him to do as regards to the plays. But if he just plays hard and plays with his teammates and does what good teammates do, good things will happen.
Well, he seems very comfortable getting shots up here, and I know that he definitely did that well before he even started his high school career. He's used to shooting here in East Gymnasium. And again, if you're just joining us, fans, Isaac Schrager up to 17 points here, and we're not even at the midway point of the second quarter yet after that drive to the rim. That time was just left a little bit short here for North Bergen. So what do we think about on the horizon for you? Obviously, your son's going to be here for 2 more years as there's a foul at the rim for Old Tappan. Then afterwards, are we going to expect to see you somehow, some way get back into coaching?
I'm open to it. Really would have to be the right opportunity. I'm not sure whether head coaching or anything like that. I've coached for a long time, and most of those years I was just an assistant coach. So I would definitely, consider it the right opportunity. But I want to see where Isaac ends up after high school, if he wants to play the next level and what that means. And then we'll go from there. I've coached other sports as well, like tennis and track. And so I've had some maybe interest in getting back into maybe tennis coaching or something else. Because I really do think it's important as an educator to see the kids outside of the classroom. It's a great aspect of education.
Jaden David just got the first made field goal for North Bergen in this first half, and now he's hustling to try to win back possession on a tie ball. And that possession arrow is going to give it back over to North Bergen. Coach, you've also had the luxury of being able to coach in various different states. How would you match up and rank New Jersey basketball compared to some of the other stops that you've made around the country in your coaching tenure? What do you see? Is there a different type of style that's kind of emblematic of what New Jersey hoops action is?
Well, I would say, one thing I would say about the big North and North Jersey is with all these small little towns, it's very competitive. There's never an easy game. Texas is a very large state where you would have to, at times, go a distance to find maybe some competitive games. Not every night was where you are locked into a battle. I think here in North Jersey, kids are well coached. And every night is a grind. You have to play 32 minutes, and you have to take care of the basketball, and you have to do the little things. We have a lot of good coaches here in North Jersey, and so that's what I would say. Very, very, very difficult on a nightly basis. Some really great teams.
As Old Tappan forces the turnover there, but then gets called for a turnover of their own. Jerry Alexander coming into the game for the first time. So from not only your parent point of view, but your coaching point of view, what have you seen that has worked so well for Old Tappan in this first half?
Well, I think early on, the zone caused some problems for North Bergen. North Bergen's now stepping up their defensive intensity, trying to create some turnovers with the press, and Old Tappan's being a little sloppy with the basketball. And sometimes it happens when you get ahead in a game. Playing from behind, you can play aggressive. When you're ahead, you're trying to do some things to keep the lead and not turn the ball over. And you kind of see some problems right now. Old Tappan probably needs a timeout.
As Mejia just misfired that time inside, tried to hustle his way back, but went over the back with a foul in the process as well after not scoring a single point in the first 8 minutes. North Bergen starting to come alive here. The largest lead was Old Tappan at one point, leading 31-1. I was about to say, on both sides of the equation, if you're Old Tappan, how do you keep focus? And then if you're North Bergen, how do you not just keep your head down and you keep fighting back in what seems like a nightmare start?
The biggest thing right now for Old Tappan is breaking pressure and not getting sped up because of the pressure. And continue to make plays.
As Traeger kicks it out all the way up top to Alexander, no good with Mejia's rebound.
Yeah, Old Tappan sub, a lot of times they only play 5 guys, 6 guys. He subbed a little bit here early, and you could see a little bit of chemistry happening where they're struggling with the press break.
It looked like it was an offensive foul. That was the original call there against North Bergen after Perez left his feet. Good job there by Alexander of Old Tappan of forcing that offensive foul, and then they were just fixing the net on the other end of the floor.
Yeah, so handling this pressure is going to be important right here.
Is it always a great thing, Coach, like when you're having these type of tournaments, especially against opponents you don't normally face, to be exposed to things like this, the full court pressure, as well as how you can adjust and recover in the course of a quick couple of days?
Yeah, I think it prepares you for, as the season goes along and you're going to play, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and you got to be ready to face different styles. And you can't always have the coach call a timeout to say, hey, this is what we got to do. You got to be able to sometimes react on the court. And that's where some leadership comes in, having seniors and guys that have played varsity minutes. And Old Tappan has that, so they should be able to handle this. They've got 5 guys that started 80% of their games last year. So handling this pressure, they should be able to do that.
David Brennan got fouled as he'll head to the line to shoot a pair. Again, if you're just joining us, this is Old Tappan versus North Bergen in our first game of the 2024 Jack Riley Holiday Tournament. Dan Long talking alongside former Fort Lee head coach and now proud Old Tappan parent, and Adam Schrager. And David Brennan goes 1 of 2 at the line there to give himself now 5 points in this first half, 33-8 advantage. Coach, what, looking back on your tenure here at Fort Lee, like you mentioned, what was your favorite memory or memories of being in charge of the Bridgman program that sustained success under your watch?
There's some great memories. I would say first year beating Paramus Catholic here in the tournament was very important for the program and where it was at. I was the 3rd coach in 3 years, and that was really important for the program. The year we made the Jamboree and won a game, that was a great memory. So there's a bunch. Lewis Armis scoring 1,000 points. It was a great memory. So there's a lot. Of course, unfortunately, as a coach, sometimes you remember, maybe the things you didn't accomplish as much as the things you accomplished. Wish we would have won a group playoff game in the 6 years I was a coach, and we never able to do that. Of course, those things, but I think the best thing is the relationships. That's really what matters in all of this. I still text with a lot of the former players, and those relationships, they never go away. The wins and losses go away, the relationships stay forever.
So is your dream to then possibly have a matchup of Old Tappan versus Fort Lee in the finals, or you wouldn't mind whoever Old Tappan possibly could match up with here in this Jack Riley tournament?
It would be interesting. Coach Ford knows my son very well and, knows Old Tappan very well. It would be interesting. I don't know if I'll root for that. It's hard to be on either side of that for me. Teaching here at school, and a lot of those guys on Fort Lee I've coached or they've been in the program, and so I'll try to just watch the games and see how it plays out.
What would be the biggest thing that you miss right now in your year away, if you do miss anything from your coaching tenure? Is there something that you wake up and you're like, oh, I wish it were game day, I would want to be on the sideline, or you're actually enjoying right now not having to worry about practice and worry about game plans and doing everything, even the off-season workouts? What is it about taking this season off from head coaching?
I think what's probably missed the most is, like I said, relationships, not being around the players. I think the other thing is strategizing and trying to look at tape and keeping your mental sharpness and those type of things. You miss those. But I would say that's about it. I don't miss the long evenings, the drives back and forth from where I live to Fort Lee for practice or those type of things. But the relationships and being in the gym with kids and the strategizing, those are things I miss. I'll be honest, I don't really miss game day. I was never really like I found it more stress than anything else. I do love it. I think it was easier to be a player than sometimes as a coach. So that's probably what I miss.
Well, we certainly enjoyed so much of the games that you had here, and such big games, like we said, a couple seasons ago where your team really had an outstanding regular season, and you had a flair for the dramatic of winning here at home. You defended the fort, and you protected this house on that way to a season where you had a home playoff game in the States, and like you said, winning in the Bergen Jamboree. It was always fun, and you were always such a great, help for myself and Dimitri and Renee doing these broadcasts. You always understood what these broadcasts could mean for a program as your son steals the ball and lays it in. Now Isaac Schrager with a game-high 19 points here in the first half. It looks like it might have been a technical as well. That's something that you never got here as the head coach of Fort Lee. Never once got a technical.
Yeah, I'm not sure what actually was said. Not a smart play. Coach will talk to him.
Don't think it was season's greetings. I don't think Happy Holidays was.
No, and we talk about these things.
That's the mental aspect of the game, right, Coach?
It is. It's about playing the right way, and he knows and he understands. We'll see how he responds, and that's the biggest thing is. Those things happen, and I always said you got to get on to the next play. The bad part about it is when you get that technical, you pick up not only you pick up a personal foul, you give him 2 shots, you give him the ball. There's that aspect of it, and so of course me and him will have a conversation at some point later on this evening or tomorrow about it as well.
That's his second personal foul, and again he's got a game-high 19. 37-11 with under 2 minutes now left to go in the first half. After North Bergen was scoreless in the first quarter of play, they put up 11 points here in the second quarter. Here's Perez chucking from deep, no good, and skying for the rebound inside by Marco Demore. What is it about this team that you see this year that has people thinking good things here for Old Tappan?
Well, Old Tappan returns basically 5 starters from last year, and they have a very good threesome in David Brennan, Dylan Jelinski, and Isaac. Those guys, combined can give you, 50, 60 points every single night. And so with those 3 guys and then the other players, they have a chance to be very competitive. Like I said, Big North is tough. They play in a league with Teaneck and Pascack Valley and Tenafly and Demarest, and so it's a tough league. And so every night they're going to have to battle if they want to win games in that league.
David Brennan was fouled. That's his 6th point of the game as he's 2 for 2 at the foul line. North Bergen over the limit. So it's the 2 shots, and Old Tappan makes the most of that opportunity to stretch their lead now to 39-11. As we're coming up on the final minute of the second quarter. Again, this first half dominated by Old Tappan as North Bergen trying to fight and claw its way back. North Bergen has done a nice job of the offensive glass to generate these extra opportunities this quarter.
Well, when you're in a zone, very, very hard to defensive rebound. As opposed to playing man because you know who you're boxing out. And you'll hear me in the stands yelling, especially in zone, you have to have 5 guys rebounding. When 5 guys don't rebound, when you're in that zone, you're going to struggle. And offensive rebounds lead to problems.
As that's deflected, last touch out of bounds by North Bergen.
15 seconds left here. Sure, Old Tappan will try to hold for that last shot.
Well, Old Tappan coach doesn't have a lot of size. Their shooting is lethal, and that's going to keep you guys in every game this season. Here's Drelinski, who's had a big first half himself with 11. Dishing off underneath, and there's a foul after Sonano was trying to go up for that shot.
Yeah, that was a good play. Left 4 seconds on the clock. We'll give North Bergen a shot at the end here.
Sonano knocks down the foul shot. He's got 3 points here in the first half. Looking forward to anything for 2025 with this brand new year on the horizon?
Well, I'll actually be welcoming a third grandchild.
Oh,
So-
congratulations! After that last shot was off the mark.
So we have two, and we have a third on the way. And so for our family, it's a blessing. So we got a lot to look forward to in 2025. And just a healthy, new year for everybody,
Well, Coach, thank you so much for treating us here, something that we don't normally do on the broadcast, to bring you back here to learn about what you've been doing, and to also, and most importantly, thank you for what you did for us here with these Fort Lee broadcasts and what you've continued to be as a leader here on campus at Fort Lee High School. We wish you all the very best. We hope you enjoy yourself as you're watching Old Tappan this season, and congratulations with the new grandchild on the way.
Thank you. I wish everybody a healthy new year. Appreciate being here. And go Bridgman.
So that was Coach Adam Schrager joining us here for the second quarter of play. We're at halftime at East Gymnasium. Old Tappan on top of North Bergen 41-11. We'll be back here for the start of the second half of play on YouTube. Welcome back, everybody, inside East Gym. You're at Fort Lee High School as we're moments away from the resumption of play in the start of the second half of game number 1 of the 2024 Jack Riley Holiday Tournament. It's been all Northern Valley Old Tappan in this matchup against North Bergen as the Golden Knights lead by a score of 41-11 as we are getting set for the start of the second half of play. Dan Long, Dimitri Nanis, Renee Matisich, glad that he could join us here, courtesy of the Fort Lee Athletic Department's YouTube channel. Old Tappan led 22-0 after the first quarter of play, and they stretched that lead even further after outscoring the Bruins 19-11 in the second quarter of action. Isaac Schrager is the leading scorer in this game. For all players, he's got 19 points and has knocked down 5 three-pointers on his way to a blistering start to this one. 19 points in the first half of action. North Bergen being led by Alex Estudillo's game-high 6 points, all of which came in that second quarter of play. Dylan Drolinsky also has 11 points in this game for Old Tappan as the second leading scorer for the Golden Knights, as Old Tappan trying to go to 2-1 on the season, trying to make it back-to-back wins overall. North Bergen still looking for their first win of the 2024-25 season. As we're underway, the start of the second half of play. Old Tappan in their home blue. North Bergen defending in their road whites. Brennan sets and fires from deep. Rattles in and out, no good. Mejia tracks down the rebound. Astudillo getting around the horn. Here's Perez on the baseline. Drives. Try to kick it back up top to Rivera. Rivera gathers it, got bumped on the sideline, and that's going to be a foul whistled against Nick Holloway. Holloway will pick up the foul, his second, team's first of the second half. Aiden Rivera worked around into the corner. Astudillo getting it back up top to Cameron Perez. Perez with a left-hand dribble. Kick out into the corner, Astudillo for 3, and he gets it. His second made triple of the game. He's got a game-high 9 now for the Bruins, who start off with a main basket to start this second half. Brennan weaving his way up to Schrager, and Schrager drops down his 6th 3 of the game. Isaac Schrager now with 22 points here in this game. Less than 90 seconds into the start of the second half, Schrager working on an enormous performance here. Dead-eye shooting as well. We thank again his father, Adam, for joining us in that second quarter of play, welcoming him back to Fort Lee, where he was the head coach the last 6 seasons. Drolinsky a little out of control, and a whistle, and that's going to be an offensive foul against Drolinsky. Drolinsky got to the foul line early and often in that first half. He was 5 of 8 from the charity stripe. That time the foul went against him. Drolinsky's first, team second in this third quarter. Rivera thought about uncorking the 3, instead tried an entry pass, but that got swatted away. Schrager getting it off unselfishly to Drolinsky, who missed on the shot. Then the follow-up shot also no good. Third time's the charm there for Drolinsky. His first basket of the second half. He's got 13. Rivera weaves his way through traffic. Astudillo kind of short arms that shot. No deflection as that goes out of bounds. Last touch off of North Bergen. Drolinsky seeing the double team coming. Swings it inside. Sedano getting it back up top. Drolinsky had that deflected. Last touch out of bounds off of North Bergen, so possession will stay with Old Tappan. Old Tappan went 9-17 overall last season. They advanced to the quarterfinals of the Bergen County Invitational. Nice give and goal, the pick and roll, and David Brennan, the beneficiary of that unselfish look inside. Brennan with 9. Old Tappan made the state playoffs as well as the number 13 seed in North 1 Group 3. They lost to their rivals in Northern Valley Demorest 62-59. Schrager step back jumper, no good. Dio in the open floor, finding his teammate. Beautiful finds and an even better finish for Aiden Rivera. Jerlinski across the lane, and Jerlinski not to be stopped. 15 points now for Jerlinski, the senior. As Coach Schrager said, this Old Tappan side is very experienced. They have the built-in chemistry, having played with one another, and now Schrager with the active hands in the passing lane. Schrager in the open floor will go right high to the rim and will lay it in. Schrager up to 24 points. 52-16 lead for Old Tappan as we're closing in on the midway point of the third quarter. Rivera off to the near side corner. Now Rivera top of the key. Dio takes his man off the dribble, tries the floater, too strong. Fouls his miss with a rebound. Here's Rivera with the left-hand floater, no good. North Bergen, to their credit, even when misfiring, have been hustling all the way. Schrager in the corner. Gets it to the trailer, and Brennan. Brennan trying to go right to the rim, got wrapped up. That'll be a foul whistled against the Bruins. Their first foul this second half. David Brennan with 9-point performance for the sophomore. Now he's in double figures with 10. Perfect 4 for 4 at the foul line. Jaden David back onto the floor for North Bergen. He had 3 points in that first half. He had the first made field goal of the game for the Bruins. As Brennan 5 for 5 at the foul line, he's got 11. 54-16 lead now for Old Tappan. Again, the Golden Knights went 2-1 in this tournament a season ago. North Bergen went 2-1 themselves. The steal getting down the other way. The and one opportunity here for North Bergen. As Jaden David, the hoop and the harm, and a chance at a three-point play the old-fashioned way. Last season, North Bergen again lost to Passaic, but bounced back to defeat Fort Lee and Riverdale to finish 2-1 in the tournament after 2 years ago going a perfect 3-0 and winning the championship. Jaden David to the line to try to complete the three-point play. He's 1 of 2 at the foul line today. And he banks it home to give him 6 points here this afternoon. Rosselli on the floor. 0 now for Old Tappan off the Golden Knight bench, and Schrager was stripped after he was trying to weave his way through. Dio kicking out to Rivera to the near side, off-balance shot, and he'll get to the foul line for 2 opportunities as well. So North Bergen doing a good job of attacking a little more aggressively off the dribble now, rather than what they did in the first half, which was settle for the outside shot that just was not falling. And they'll head to the foul line for a pair. In the first half, North Bergen was 6 of 8 from the foul line, and that time a miss for Cameron Perez, the junior. This is on both foul shot opportunities. Under 3 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Pick and roll inside, leads to the lay-in, that time for Joe Martin. Martin's first 2 points of the game. Great execution all game long here for Old Tappan. They have looked really good in the half court. a team that came into this game averaging just over 56 points per game. They're at 56 points, and it's 2 minutes and change left to go in the third quarter. They exploded for 41 points in the first half. Nice play by Rivera of splitting the double team, but he just couldn't get the final opportunity to fall. Morey getting it back up top to Brian Slater's also into the game for the first time, number 3. Camacho botting up against Schrager, and a 5-second call whistled. Great on-ball defense there by Eliezer Camacho, the 6'1 junior. Last season, North Bergen went 7-16. They lost 9 out of their last 11 games on the season. Trying to find their way here in the start of a brand new season. And they've had some tough competition. Going against the likes of Hoboken and Ridgewood in their last 2 games, nothing easy. Asadillo got fouled after he was trying to go high off the glass. That'll be the 4th team foul against Old Tappan here in the quarter, with 1:39 left to go in the third. Asadillo sinks home that foul shot. He's now got double digits in terms of points here today. 10 points for the senior. 4 of 5 at the foul line here this afternoon. As he goes 1 of 2 that stretch at the line. First of 4 games here on the opening day of this Jack Riley Holiday Tournament 2024. Our next game will feature a matchup of Riverdale taking on Wayne Valley. That'll be on its own respective broadcast link here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel as Carmine Porcelli brings it home from deep. His first points of the game gives him the 3, and it's a 59-20 advantage now for Old Tappan. Old Tappan has knocked in 7 threes in this game. That's going to be an offensive foul drawn by Jaden David after Demore was caught up in the air with a stationary player underneath him. That'll give possession back over to North Bergen with under a minute now left to go in the third quarter. That's a reach-in foul against the Golden Knights, and that's going to be over the limit now, so that'll send North Bergen to the foul line to shoot a pair. Eduardo Ortiz to the foul line for North Bergen. As he'll rattle in the first foul shot, his first point of the afternoon. Ortiz goes 1 of 2 at the line. 59-21. Collision there, the ball was left behind. Amore for a long-range 3, no good off the front rim. Porcelli with the offensive rebound. Good extra pass inside, but the layup is no good by Martin. Rivera skies high for that loose ball. He'll trigger it down the other way, goes high off the glass, and 1. Aiden Rivera, the senior, with 4 of his 6 points in this game. In this third quarter alone, he has a chance at a 3-point play. Made the defensive tip on one end of the floor and finishes off with a layup and 1 on the other end of the floor. So good hustle there by Rivera, the senior. Completes the 3-point play with a successful foul shot. He's 3 for 3 at the line in this game. He's got 7. Under 20 seconds left to go in the third quarter. 59-24 advantage for Old Tappan. All the reserves on the floor right now for Coach Ferraro and Old Tappan. The younger Golden Knights trying to get some action here. And the time will run out after that miss inside. But it's all Old Tappan as we head to the fourth quarter of play. Stick around as you're watching all the coverage exclusively here of the Jack Riley Holiday Tournament on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Old Tappan heading to the fourth quarter. Well in control of this one, 59-24. They outscored North Bergen 18-13 in that third quarter. If you're just joining us, it was 22-0 after the first quarter of play. So North Bergen has started to get their offense going, but Old Tappan has had the better of the day by far. Isaac Schrager with a game-high 24 points. He has the same amount of points that North Bergen has all game long. As we get to the start of the fourth quarter, Old Tappan in their home blue, defending in their road whites is North Bergen. And that time, a high off the glass and good is Brian Slater. Slater with his first made basket of the game for Old Tappan. Rivera, 7 points for him here today. Astudillo has it with a game-high 10 for North Bergen. Trying to pull out the defense, giving it over to his teammate Mejia. Hook pass inside, deflected away. Old Tappan not just only getting it done offensively, but defensively they've been solid throughout the course of this game. Team that's allowing only 51 points per game to opponents. And the C's part there for Porcelli. Easy entry for the lay-in. And Carmine Porcelli now with 5 points in this game. Astudillo gets it back from Mejia. As Bruins trying to look for something. Astudillo got it stripped. It'll stay on this end of the floor for North Bergen. See the mercy rule in effect, so it's a running clock right now with this score disparity. Even in out of bounds situations, the clock will continue to meander its way down. Turnaround shot, no good. Rebounded inside by Joe Martin, 6'4" junior. Again, with his top side of the bracket, the winner of this game will advance to play the winner of our next game, which will feature Wayne Valley and Riverdale. Then our following games is going to be Memorial and Bergenfield. And then we will finish day one action up with the home team, Fort Lee, playing host to Passaic High School. As Drolinsky rattles in another made foul shot. 6 for 9 at the foul line here today for Drolinsky. He's up to 16 points. Second leading scorer for the Golden Knights. Always such an honor to be on the airwaves with you fans, enjoying this holiday tournament year after year. There's going to be a blocking foul against Fort Lee, or excuse me, against Old Tappan. As possession will stay with North Bergen. So again, stick around for our next game. It's going to be Wayne Valley versus Riverdale. That'll be on its own separate broadcast link, as you could find all the games here on their respective links on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Games are seen live and also anytime afterwards on demand, and the best part, all for free thanks to our great sponsors of Fort Lee Athletics. And there's an and-one opportunity. Asadio once again going right into the heart of the defense and coming away with a bucket and now a chance at a three-point play. (64-26). Have the lead here for Old Tappan. And the foul shot is good, so a game-high 13 now for Alex Asadio here for North Bergen. That's the midway point of the fourth quarter, 64-27. Worked around the perimeter now to Brian Slater. That's stolen away. Asadio in the open floor. Rivera sets and fires, and he knocks in the three. Aiden Rivera knocking in the three-point shot. He's got 10 points in the game. And North Bergen put on a little bit of a charge here in the fourth quarter. Nice unselfish basketball there by Asadio, finding Rivera. Two leading scorers for the Bruins here this afternoon, as they will be playing the loser of our second game between Wayne Valley and Riverdale tomorrow. Every team that participates in this holiday tournament guaranteed 3 games. All these games count towards their overall record in the course of a season as well, so plays a part when it comes to state playoff time. There's a steal by North Bergen in the open floor. Rivera is swatted away by Jerry Alexander. The senior skied high to make sure that Rivera was not going to add to his point total. Coming up on 2.5 minutes left to go in regulation. They will say it's a foul, not just a clean block, so Rivera does add to his total here with the made foul shot. Perfect 4 for 4 at the charity stripe now for Aiden Rivera. He's got 11. Now, Cedillo and Mejia's days are done. 2 of the starters for Coach Kevin Bianco. Rivera perfect 5 for 5 at the foul line. Full court pressure being displayed here by North Bergen. That leads to the turnover. Last touch out of bounds off of Old Tappan. So Coach Ferraro getting a chance to rest his starters for really the entirety of this fourth quarter. Long range offering, no good. Tipped around inside. Davids put back, no good. Fouls it again, gets that shot blocked away. There's another rejection from Old Tappan. Great interior defense. Mid-range baseline jumper by Rivera, no good. Countless number of opportunities here for North Bergen, and Rivera finally cashes it home with another made three. Rivera with 15 points in the game, 64-35, coming up on the final minute of the fourth quarter. There's a long-range three by Old Tappan right in front of their own bench, and the putback layup is good inside by Alexander. His first 2 points of the game. And that's going to be a foul whistled on the floor against Old Tappan. That'll be their 4th team foul. Again, with the clock continuing to roll here with the mercy rule in effect. As they outlet it up top now to Eduardo Ortiz. It'll be the final possession of the game here for North Bergen. Ortiz with 20 on the game clock. Ortiz taking the shot, no good. Tipped out in space. Here's Old Tappan in the open floor. And it'll be a layup simply for Marco D'Amore. His first 2 points of the game. 68-point performance, a dominant performance by Old Tappan here today as they will advance to the semifinals to await the winner of Wayne Valley and Riverdale tomorrow in a game that you'll be able to see here on our broadcast airwaves. So 68-35 is our final score. Old Tappan victorious as they will go to 2-1 on the season. North Bergen will fall to 0-4 so far to start off this season. So stick around, fans, as again we'll continue our broadcast coverage of day one action of the 2024 Jack Riley Holiday Tournament. That's going to be coming up next in our second game of the day, featuring Riverdale and Wayne Valley. So for Renee Matisich and Dimitri Nanis, I'm Dan Long saying so long. And again, continue watching our coverage of the Fort Lee Holiday Tournament here on YouTube.